Hey guys, welcome back. As you'll see here today, we have another video. It's going to be quite a big one on Aaron's Ralliart. You'll see now it's the best Ralliart out there. He has added on some personalised plates here in Queensland. Queensland's great in Australia because you buy the plates, they're yours forever. Even if they're not on the car, it's a one-time fee. So unless Aaron's sold the ownership rights of the plate to someone else, he'll be able to have those plates forever. So you'll see here we do currently have in his car pretty well a stock front bumper. It's got the OEM fog lights and the OEM Evo X MR projector headlights, which also come in the Lancer, Aspire and certain Ralliart models. And they're really, really good headlights, but we wanted to change up. Aaron's seen my car, obviously, when we've been working, and you can see I've got my same headlights, but they've been customized. There's one other person who copied this setup about a year ago in Australia. They messaged me and said, where'd you get it done? What'd you get? And I told them, and they are actually selling those headlights. So today, Aaron has actually decided to purchase those off the old owner for a really good price. So they're still HIDs, still OEM Evo 10 MR headlights with the two hex halos and a demon eye added in. These are a little bit newer than mine, so they may have a couple more modes, but overall they are very, very similar, almost the exact same as my headlights, but brand new clear lenses as well, compared to that faded one you saw on Aaron's car earlier. So today we're going to go through the process showing you how to take off the front bumper, take the headlights out, wire in your custom headlights, and go through that to show you in case you ever want to customize yours or you're just not sure how to take your bumper off your car. Because when you do it a lot, it gets easy, but if you've never done it before, it can seem a little bit daunting. So let's hop right into it. Okay guys, so quick look at what we're going to have to do here. First step is taking off your bumper. So you do need to take off this. There's 3 clips, one here, here, and here, as well as your stock intake into your Ralliart, or your snorkel as it's called. Literally just 2 push clips. You lift it up and it pops off and lifts with a pull. You can see it even wants to move a little bit there. It pulls straight out of there and comes off. So we'll do that first. So I don't want to time lapse it till I can show them everything. But that's all sweet. So first one here, trim removal tool, super handy. A flathead screwdriver will also work. Just gets right under there and lifts it out as such. I like to use a cooler or something like that to put all my bumper bolts in. I've done this enough times I remember. I don't need to like separate them into plastic parts and then front bumper headlights. I know which bolts go where, but if you want to have 2 or 3 for the first time you do it, might be a great idea. Now obviously if you have, similar to me, a carbon fiber front air dam, I believe it's called, then you're going to need to be a little bit careful when getting these things off. But for this, the stock one, pretty easy. That clip's just popped out, it's just on the ground. No stress there, nice and easy. And then that there literally just pops right out. This here comes up, lifts up, and it reveals all our bolts that we need to get to. So just put these aside, and then I'll show you what comes next. Okay, so now that we're off, you can see here, we do have our bumper bolts. There's 5 across the top, so 1, 2, 3 down there, 4 and 5 to get off. We don't want to touch the headlight ones yet until the bumper comes off first, but there's 2 of them there. Coming round to underneath the wheel, you may need to turn the front wheel in order to see this correctly, but there is 1 bolt under there you can see that needs to come out, as well as some push clips, 1, 2, right there. If you have an under tray, that needs to come out as well. Pretty much you need to drop the whole front side of the under tray off. So there should be about, I believe, 7 bolts or so in the OEM one, as well as some black push clips. You'll also need to make note the fog lights will be plugged in to the car. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see it. Yes, I can just. You can see near where that green wire is, there's a plug right there. You need to unplug that before taking the bumper out, or you'll rip your fog lights out, which we're going to do anyway, but we still want to do it the right way. And then there is also 2 bolts. There's one here in your grill which connects, and another one on the other side in exactly the same position. So they're all the bolts we're going to be undoing, guys. We'll get the bumper off and then tune back in. I'll set it up for a time lapse so that hopefully you can see the process and what it takes us to get this off the car. Shouldn't take too long, maybe getting it off about a 10-20 minute job if you're experienced, maybe about 30-40 if you're not. Let's get into it.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're wrong.
Right guys, so we have removed every single bolt out of the front bumper now that I showed you earlier. Now we're going to come down here and have a look at the wheel well. We removed the bolt that was up under here and these two clips out of our guard liner. So now what we need to do is we need to get our hand in here and pop our guard liner out so it comes away from the bumper like that. You'll hear it click out. You'll see now the bumper is sitting behind the guard liner, so you'll feel it will come out. All right, now when you're doing your bumper removal along here with the clips, a lot of people break them and then it really sags. It doesn't have that nice tight fitment. The way you want to do it is you pull down and out very lightly. So there's like a square stencil, which I'll show you when the bumper's off. So you need to pull that out of the square stencil first. If you just rip it, you'll snap the stencil and it won't sit up nice and tight like that, unless you get it repaired, or maybe a bigger bolt might work, but still you don't really want to do that. So here, stand up so I have a bit more weight, pull down and bring it out. So there's that square stencil right there, guys, that I was speaking to you about. Right there's that square stencil. So see, you had to pull that down and then out. After that, the rest of the bumper just comes out. We can leave that sit and then we go and repeat the same process on the other side. All right guys, so you can do this yourself. Don't forget to unplug those fog lights, which I already have. So same method over here as you just saw. We're just gonna rip out our guard liner, pull your bumper out a bit to help you. Once you get your finger in behind, it should come out quite easy. You don't need to rip it very hard. You'll hear it click when it comes out. Pull down on your bumper stencil. So here it comes down and then out, like so. See there, I haven't cracked the square stencil. The bumper comes off nice and easy. And just put her down on the ground. So now we've got our bumper off. Right, well that's in the video now. Unbelievable, you're exposing. All right guys, so we have our bumper off. This gets really easy from here to take these headlights out. You'll see there's 4 bolts, one here, one right there, and then coming round underneath, one right there that also connects to your headlight. Don't reef on them. You don't want to snap your headlight tabs out as you go. Also need to make sure you unplug both of the headlight plugs. So there's a big one right here and then there's one directly underneath it. So one there and there's one directly underneath. When you're doing that side, just lift up your washer bottle. It can spin just to give you the space and it'll just sit like there, nice and up like that. So same deal on the other side, exactly the same bolts. There's one plug, there's another. So 2 plugs first, 4 bolts out, and then the headlight can come out from the car.
To the other side, my love.
Alright guys, so now we've got the bumper and the headlights out of the car. Just wanted to come over here to show you the difference. So keep in mind, from factory, the bottom set is exactly what those lights ahead did come as. They've been blacked out, had hex halos added, and demon eyes included in them as well. Best headlights you can get, in my opinion, for the Evo 10 or Evo 10MR Ralliart Lancer platform. A lot of cool ones out there like the VLANs, the HC Motions and other brands, but I really love keeping this OEM, plus pretty unique. You don't see many headlight sets like this. You can see this set, that one is in like perfect condition still. That one has a little bit of sun fade, but his new set, both are brand new. You can see here, there's a lot more custom sort of wiring, obviously, that is involved with these headlights, as you can see, but it still retains the OEM plug and play method. So on his black, Ralliart will look really, really clean, really good. Over here on his bumper as well, I forgot to mention, we will be performing a fog light delete kit from AK Racing. So that's where the fog lights come out and are replaced with a mesh, very similar to that there. So that will be fully mesh, improves airflow, and in my opinion looks a lot more aggressive on the car. So we'll show you how to do that, show you how to wire in the headlights, and show you how the bumper goes back on the car, and then we'll be sweet. So we're just gonna mount the light into the car at the moment. We're going to mount both of them in, and then I'm going to show you how to wire them. Just to mount a headlight in, I'll show you on this one only, so if you come closer. So because these are custom, obviously the first thing we need to do is get all of our wires out of the way. So just go bring these wires up and pull them through as we feed the headlight in. I'll tuck them there for now, so that's nice and out of my way. I'm going to slide the headlight in nice and carefully, trying to line up that square stencil, if you get that in the camera there. Trying to line up my square stencil as I slide, which I can feel there, I'm getting pretty close. Boom, and you'll feel that that's clipped in. So that will hold the light after that clips in. That doesn't mean it's fully in position just yet. You can see here that hole's not even close to lining up, there's no hole there. Alrighty, so the other thing we need to look up before we do it, always double check with my wires that they're through and that they're not being crushed by anything. No, so they're sweet, so I'm just going to tuck them around up there. And then what I'm going to do, check for my plugs. So remember our two plugs from earlier. So we've got one and two. It's always handy to do this before plugging the lights in, like pushing it in to lock it in fully, because you've got a bit more movement in the lights. Alrighty, so down here, might be a bit hard to see, but straight down there, you can see that little metal clip. See how I'm over the top there of the white clip? It needs to go down and in, making sure I'm not crushing anything, and that's just a little tap. And then that's locked in there now. Alrighty, it goes a little bit more as well, just to make sure we're getting it in nice. So then we'll plug it in and we'll bolt her on. No stress at all. Alrighty guys, back on. So what we've done is we mounted both the headlights in, as you just saw. I've got the wires here to show you how it works customized. So from the custom shop, you've got these wires here. You've got your power box here with your app. SS Customs Queensland built both this set of headlights and mine. As far as I know, they're one of the only hexes in Queensland, at least in Australia. I have seen one in Perth, not built by them, but anyways. So the way this wires up, guys, that's your main power box. Blue is for obviously your blue side, marked of your headlights, and green is for the other side over there. So that's no stress there at all. Alrighty, so then after that you need to make sure you earth it just for safety. So there'll be another wire with a lug from that power box back over there, you can see. I earth it just there so that bolt comes out and then bolts back down onto this. The main power is from the accessories port in the fuse box. That's a 30 amp fuse. I personally changed mine to run from a different section of my fuse box. So you'll see here that 30 amp fuse, that's where that just gets plugged into beside the red. The 30 amp green one goes into there, and then that pushes in down there like that. So that's the way it's run. That's the way it's wired in. Whenever you turn on the accessories section of your car, it'll turn on your custom headlights as well. You can just run them unplugged, which is what I do when I leave my car for like a week. Like right now, they're not plugged in, just to be safe on my battery. It's just as simple as pulling it in and pulling it out. So we're all in, we're all sweet. I'm really, really keen to get the bumper back on and have a look, because the black on black looks mega. So yeah, we're gonna show you now how it all wires in through a time lapse, show you what we've done, zip tied up, and then our headlights should be done, test all the modes that work, and then our bumper will be going back onto the car with our newly installed fog light delete, which isn't done just yet.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's
Alrighty guys, so as you can see here, we got our headlights all in. All the wiring is in, tucked and zip tied. So you can see there, they're all plugged in together to the blue. That's why that headlight's marked blue there. And then that's just your other side, or your green, as it is called. They look really, really good. I'm keen to see it with the bumper. So we plugged them in, tested them. I just wanted to show you over here, that there is our earth. So she's tight underneath that bolt there, touching to the car. And then to make them work, all you need to do here is get your 30 amp fuse with your fuse tap and plug it in to that one right there. So the one closest to the edge. And that will turn your custom headlights on. Looking mega. So there'll be a few modes. There'll be a few modes that you can see. We'll roll them through now for you. There, right. We'll roll them through. We're starting out with red, just a hard color. Looking really, really good. There you go. So there you can see. That's all ran through a phone app. A lot of different modes going on. You can run hard colors. You can run strobe. You can run one color strobing. There's a lot of different options with these headlights, and yeah, Aaron's done really well to pick these up. The more modern version, I suppose, of my own, and it's really cool to match now. Obviously matching headlights with my Evo 10 over there. So we're going to go through the fog light delete kit on the bumper now, put the bumper on, and then we'll film some cinematics of this bad boy with the new kit on the front. Let's do it. Alrighty guys, so now we're going to work on the fog light delete kit. So you can see there are fog light delete inserts bought from AK Racing. That's what it looks like right now with our current fog lights. So you can see here around the back of the bumper, there is going to be quite a little bit to remove. We have to remove the actual fog light assembly itself, the existing mesh, and all that wire. I'm going to take it all out, that way it's not there anymore. So that'll go, put the new ones in, and it should be pretty good. I will comment that a black car, this bumper will be a lot easier to work on, simply due to the fact that all these brackets behind the fog light mesh, you can usually see them. On a white car or a grey car, they're all going to be the OEM color, so that would be white, and that would look really bad behind that open mesh. Being black, we're probably going to be able to just leave these here and put the existing fog light mesh over the top. You'll never see it, so that will make it a lot easier. I have done this on a grey Ralliart prior, and we did decide to cut out the extra pieces. Looked so much better, but on black you probably wouldn't even notice the difference, so that is a benefit of owning a black car. Thanks guys, we're gonna get into it now. Alright guys, so if we were keeping the fog lights, we would just unclip it, but being that we're not aiming to keep them anymore, we're just going to cut this off and take these clips out. So what you can do is you can squeeze this top clip here, squeeze one side and get it down, and then push with your thumb, and they just come out as such. Obviously this here is one of your bumper clips, so that does need to obviously stay in. You can't just rip that one out. That one isn't an option to just get rid of. So you can see there's a clip behind there. We just undid as well. These ones on here, I'm just going to opt to cut because we're removing this whole piece anyway. So just get your side cutters and just get in really nice and close. It can be hard on this corrugated sort of material, and especially when the bumper moves, but there we go. But you will be able to get it in the end. A flathead screwdriver for that one, so that's fine. So that one there, another one of those similar sort of clips where you push one corner down to get it through. And the other one to follow. Can be quite hard on your fingers, guys, so just be aware while you're doing it. Same deal there. So as you can see, we're just working along, nothing too crazy. Removing the clips as we go. That one there, I'm going to need a flathead screwdriver. So just go for the ones that I can for now. Working our way along. Out she comes. And that one. And then with your pointies, or your fingers if you want, but pointies are quite easy. Grabbing one side each, gripping, and pull that down. So as you can see here, apart from the ones where we do need that extra little piece, the wiring is pretty much all the way out. I wonder if I can unscrew that. What I find really interesting when I work on all these different cars, even between the Lancers and the Ralliarts, is every bumper is a little bit different. Like these sort of clips, they're quite easy there to simply just unscrew. But I find it really interesting in the sense of, like, they're always a bit different, even in the Lancers and the Ralliarts and the Evos. Like, depending on the year model and the model of the car that you do have, it really does differ. Like, obviously it's the same fundamental bumper and things like that, but for example, this sort of clip now, none of my other cars or any cars that I've worked on have had this, where you just unscrew this and out she goes, sort of thing, like that. Can't say I've ever seen one of those before when working on Lancer or Ralliart or Evo. This is a 2013, so the S2 model, like, they were changing things all the time, so yeah, you never really do know. But that there, getting the wires out, is our first step completed. We'll come back and show you how to remove the assembly. Right, guys, so as always, I've completed one side first just to show you what we've got going on. So this is the side with the completed one. As you can see here behind the car, you do still have these two brackets. Because it's black car, you won't see it when it's actually on the car. Obviously, when it's got a light surface behind it, you're going to see it, but on a vehicle like that, you can't see anything really behind it. If they were white, they would stand out a lot, like I spoke before. So if this was a white Ralliart, if you're really committing, I would recommend cutting them out with a Dremel, which is what I did on a grey one. But today, no need to do that, makes our job nice and easy. So to get your fog light out and install the new delete kit, pretty simple. We come down here, you can see we have an OEM screw in the top corner. Right there, that's the one. So all we need to do is undo him. It's just a Phillips head screw. You can use a stubby screwdriver. Wouldn't recommend using a drill or anything like that for this sort of job, because you would strip it out super easily, being that it's only screwing into plastic. After that, it's a simple matter of pulling this out. It'll pop, you'll hear it go pop, and it'll keep coming. So I'll put my foot against the bumper just to make sure it's nice and firm, just like that. Out she comes. You can see there the fog light's still in. We take out this bracket here with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, that's not a screw, sorry, that's a like a mount. So there's 3 screws, one there, one there, one there. Unscrew them, fog light comes right out. So guys, fog light out, 3 screws like I said, leaves behind our fog light mounting points. Again, if they weren't black, recommend cutting them out. if you're not going to run fog lights again. I personally don't like fog lights at all. That makes it look like less of a race car. So this is out now. We'll give this a clean with some orange agent and a rag, and then I'll show you how to put our delete kit in. Guys, just going to give it a hit with orange agent. Pretty good hit because it's never really been cleaned. There'll be years of dirt, and just making sure I get all the angles. Let it set for about 10 seconds, nothing too crazy. And then just hold the bumper down, give her a really, really good clean, because we really don't want any dirt to be left in there now that, you know, fog light delete should hopefully attract a little bit more attention. Obviously nothing compared to the custom headlights that we've just installed, but still nice to keep every single part of your car clean. And I am quite particular just in the way that I generally do things. So we're just going to give that a nice wipe, making sure we get all the way around, underneath, and onto our old fog light mounting points. This car will receive a wash later anyway, after nothing better than washing your car after giving it some fresh mods. Really, really nice feeling. Alright, so that is pretty well dry now. So we have our OEM screw, which did come from that top corner originally, that first one we took out as we saw in the video earlier. The way the fog light delete kit works, it goes this way. So you want the textured edge to be on the front and not the gloss edge. Just missed my word there. The textured edge there. This bit here is your first bit that goes through. It slots in, kind of like a stencil. So there's a hole back down there. That hole there, that open one, she slots in. Put my foot behind the bumper to give myself a bit of leverage. Just find the right angle. There we go. So she's slotted in, and that's it. After that, you work your way around, checking as you go that you've got it in line, and that there is where it will end up. Just needs to be screwed in. Make sure that I give it a big push down back in where we initially put it in with my thumb. Hold that there. Grab my screwdriver. I'll put it through the fog light delete first, and use our OEM hole to tighten her up. Again, nothing too hard. I really am quite wary about doing this. I'm using like 3 fingers and tightening it to the best I can with that. I'm not using my whole arm. See, like, there you go. I'm not using my whole arm, or that's where if I was using my arm there, I probably would have just stripped the screw rather than just dropped it on the ground. So no harm done. That is it. That is how we finish her off. Really, really clean mod to do for the Lancer or Ralliart. We'll stand up now and show you a full view of the bumper. Really clean mod for any Lancer Ralliart. Once again, may look a little bit weird with those 2 fog light OEM mounting points there, but when it's on the car, I guarantee you will not see them. Really stoked with how that looks. Actually really clean on Aaron's Ralliart with his new custom plates. So we're going to put the bumper back on now, show you how to do that, and then we'll film some cinematics with Aaron's new mods. Let's go. Right guys, so we're going to bring the bumper round and put it on. Very similar to what we did getting it off. You need to be very careful of that square stencil section on the bumper. So we'll put it in front of the car to start with, and then you can do this by yourself. A lot easier when you have 2 people. So Aaron and I are going to lift the bumper up, and before looking at the sides, we're going to get the 5 top sections over their bolt holes. So what I mean by that is these ones right here. So you can see we've got it over there, right in the hole. Aaron's going to hold it on there. I'm going to grab one of our bumper bolts out of our cooler, which we used earlier, and just finger tighten one of those in. I will usually try to go for a middle one, so we do have a little bit of excess movement on the edges. So nothing too crazy. Quick finger tighten in so Aaron can now let go. Bumper's going to stay there. So now we'll move around to the side here. you can see we still have our clips and our square stencil. Very similar to getting it off. We need to make sure we don't break this and it goes over the stencil exactly, or we risk the bumper sagging or needing to fix our bumper or repair it in some sort of a way. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to make sure that I line this up. So I'm going to lift my bumper there, making sure that the bottom is above my under tray as well. I'm going to slide it across, and I'm looking directly in this gap here to make sure that square stencil goes over that square piece you can see there. Looking pretty good right there, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I go under there and pop those in. I can hear that the square stencil hasn't clipped on just yet, so I'm going to get my finger under there and make sure that we are all the way up. Which from the looks of it we are. There you go, you heard that final clip. That's what we were looking for right there. That there is what we wanted. We wanted to hear that last click in. So give the bumper a little bit of a pull out and pop your guard liner back in. That there is one side completed, nice and flush. So guys, now we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Now we have our bumper nice and flush against it like that. And then we'll put all of our bolts back in. And then we are completed with this job. It's going to look really, really good. Get keen on the cinematics. Righto guys, so we are back. We've fully installed the fog light delete kit, put the bumper back on, and the headlights are fully wired in. Also got my car out just so we can compare the two. Plus I think it looks really great having them both beside each other. So you can see here, we do have the hex halos running. Really, really awesome. Great addition to the car, as well as the fog light delete kit being in. This will improve the airflow of the car. Plus, in my opinion, it just makes it look that much more racy overall. So to reiterate as to how it went in, here's how it's earthed. We pop our fuse box off, and that 30 amp accessory fuse is the one that's being used there. You can also wire it to the middle little one here, which is what mine's running, just because it takes up way less space in your fuse box, a lot easier. I probably will make this change to Aaron's Ralliart as well in the coming weeks. So just really wanted to give you a look at both of the cars. I'm going to take some cinematics now to finish the video out. But yep, I hope you really enjoyed the install and the process going through this. Really, really awesome mod. As you can see, it just makes the car look so clean. Really digging the red with the red on the wheels as well, matching. And you can see mine over there has the green. So yeah guys, going to finish out with some cinematics now. Really hope you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content coming up. There'll be a few things coming soon. So yeah, until next time.